Morning, dreamers. It's actually kind of dreary outside this morning, which is why I've got the big light on. I've got my tea with me because my throat's a little sore. And yeah, just having a quiet, slow morning so far. About to go down and eat breakfast, but I wanted to pop on because I've got a lot of appointments this afternoon and I want to really be able to use my morning time to focus on some new things that I'm working on. So, thought I'd get up a little early and pop in here a little early just to be with you guys and talk about this prayer today. What I really like about this prayer is I think it underscores what we've been talking about all along. Hi, Shirley. That, like, we need to leave room for God to work, right? To say, like, this is what I have, this is what I don't have. Instead of saying, like, this is what it's going to look like, God, let's figure this out together. And really leaving God the room and the flexibility and the room and the flexibility, is that better, Shirley? The room and the flexibility to hear him, to work with him, to see new opportunities that he has for us. Because we're action takers, right? Like, we're not just dreamers, we are doers, we are action takers. And so what we do is we take action. We move toward the way that we think that it's going to work. And it often doesn't look like that. Like, if I were to look back at myself in high school, when I was choosing colleges, first off, I had a very specific idea of where I was going. And I ended up not going there. I ended up not going anywhere that I originally planned to, just for a variety of things. And then if you were to ask me in college what I would be doing right now, it'd be working for a magazine and writing. But God had this whole other big, beautiful plan in place, and I didn't know what that would look like. I just knew that I wanted to be using my skills. I knew that I wanted to be, working with other people, and that was it. Like, that's all I knew. And so over time, he has really given me those things. Like, I think even then, though, I knew that I wanted to work for a cause, or, like, I thought I'd write for, like, work for a church or write for a Christian magazine, or I think he's just always given me a heart to build up the body of believers, and while also sharing with unbelievers. And so I think, like, while some of us are meant to be in the marketplace at large, and some of us are meant more for building up the body of believers, and I think there's a balance of that in everybody's lives, but I think for me, building up the body of believers was always, like, the thing that was me. I think that's my teacher, the teacher in me, the shepherd in me. That's what I do. And so so now that I look back at sort of what God was doing, it makes sense that I'm here. But if you had asked me 10 years ago, it's not what I would have said. And so I think that's why this prayer is so powerful, because it allows us to open our eyes to maybe what God might do instead of the way we think that he will do it. I love that it starts with gratitude, and then it goes into those, like, plans that you have for yourself, and even idolizing those opportunities. I know that I have idolized experiences and opportunities before, and that's not good. Like, and it's because of that God sort of keeps those things from me, I think, so that I focus more on him. And just keeping everything in an eternal perspective. I think that's hard. Actually, I know that that's hard. Because we're earthly beings, right? We're earthly beings with eternal souls, and we're stuck like in that. But we're asked to think eternally. Like, what does it look like to live this life now, but to look to the future and prioritize things based on heaven rather than based on earth? And that can be really challenging. So the parts of this prayer that I underlined though is the bottom two paragraphs on page 176. So, Lord, please open up doors of opportunities for me. I earnestly seek to use my gifts for your glory, but I also pray for contentment if you choose not to give me what I ask of you right now. Help me to trust that you are sovereign and you have a perfect plan for my life. Help me to not be so focused on my plans that I miss the opportunities you've laid before me. God, when opportunity does come my way, please keep me humble. Remind me that every opportunity is because of you and protect me from a mindset that believes anything else. So, asking him to open up doors of opportunity. I think especially early on in your business, these like relationships and collaboration and opportunity that way is huge for your business. And so praying for those things is going to be really, really great. And so I definitely encourage you to really seek your heart and seek the Lord, and then keep your eyes open for those different opportunities and ways that you can work with people to bring something new and cool in the world that uses your gifts and their gifts and sort of creates a really fun thing. But also for contentment. I did have to confess that I am still, even though we talk about this every day, I'm still expecting his provision to look a very specific way. And I keep praying that will happen, and sometimes it does, but a lot of what I'm seeing is not that it's coming in a very different way, or doesn't feel like it's coming right now, or so just trying not to pigeonhole how God will move, because he's a big God and he can do abundantly more than I could ever ask or imagine. So why should I pigeonhole him to something that I think is possible, you know? And then help me to trust that you are sovereign and have a perfect plan for my life. And help me not to be so focused on my plans that I miss the opportunities you've laid before me. So just being open to seeing opportunities, to accepting opportunities, is huge. At least that's something I'm working on, is being open, because I tend to get really focused on one thing, and work on that, and then it's like, oh, now what do I do with my life? Because I've already like spent all that time doing those things. So just like being in the moment. And then when opportunity does come my way, keep me humble. Remind me that it's not from me, it's from God, right? That anything that we believe, that an opportunity that we created is essentially an opportunity that God has put before us. So just remembering that. And I think that's super powerful too. So I underlined 2 of the verses from today. One is, the heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. I feel like I just need to like write that on a board somewhere, because I feel like I'm a planner. I love writing out plans. Sometimes I don't like doing the plans as much as I love writing them, but I love just having a plan, right? Like, even I was talking about, like, when I was in high school and college, I had a plan. I've since abandoned such planning, because it's like that saying, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Like, that's exactly how I felt after all of that stuff. So I just need this, so that I feel like the Lord is always establishing my steps, and I can trust that when there's a twist or something in the plan, that I don't have to worry about it. He's got it. And then I also love Romans 12, so definitely read that whole chapter, because it's amazing. But the other one that I underlined was Ephesians 4:16, from whom the whole body, joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. And I think we forget sometimes that we have limitations, or we forget that we need other people. It's why people work with coaches. It's why people go to church. It's why people, live in community, do life together. And so if from the whole body is joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. So just focusing on doing your part and working with others in their part. Ooh, I'm about to sneeze. Ooh, sorry about that. So focus on being a healthy part of yourself and focus on helping others be a healthy part of their selves and working together to create a healthy body that grows because it's working together. I think sometimes we talk about niching and being unique and being on your own and being separate, and all of those things are important too, but it's also important to be together, to work together. Like, that's even how I see my client relationships, right? Like, we work together. I don't just give you instructions. We work together, we brainstorm together, we collaborate together to create the business that you want and the business that you're called to. But sometimes we get distracted, and so just helping to remember that the point is to build up other people, to bless all people, right? Like we talked about yesterday, to be part of this life where other people are affected by what we do. So keeping in mind that sometimes that means working with other people or keeping your eyes out for opportunities to collaborate or to do something different or to look at something in a way that you haven't before. I think sometimes it's just a shift of perspective that helps. So just keeping your eyes open for the ways that you can turn competitors into collaborators. I think that's been a big thing for me too, is remembering that just because they serve the same audience doesn't mean that we have to compete about it, right? Like, there could be something cool that we could put together in which we could collaborate. So thinking about those ways that you can not just compete, but become community and collaborate together so that you are all being built up instead of just one of you being built up and somebody else being torn down. It's about all of us being built up. And sometimes God prefers that way to having just you being built up. So keep your eyes open today for possible collaborations and opportunities, and definitely do those questions in the book where it has you sort of write down those things, because I think you might be surprised who in your life you already have that could be a potential collaborator with you. Okay, have a good day. Bye.